security, that's the priority. Plant the food locally, feed the whole community. Everything agriculture, building for the future. Bankie and Yahsonn bringing solutions for the islands and the nation. Too much food coming overseas. One disruption bring the country to knees. One storm, one war, one delay. Supermarket shelves empty same day. So we have to plant more yam and dasheen. Fresh vegetables keep the people clean. Raise more gold, more chicken too. Local farming must come true. Every backyard can grow something. Pepper, thyme and pumpkin. Teach the youth we love the soil. Agriculture reward the tile. Hey, if the import stop tomorrow, who gon' feed we through the sorrow? Dig the soil and make it grow. Food security run the show. If the import stop tomorrow, hey, who gon' feed we through the sorrow? Dig the soil and make it grow. Food security run the show. Food security, that's the priority. Plant the food locally, feed the whole community. Everything agriculture, building for the future. Bankie and Yahsonn bringing solutions for the islands and the nation. Cannabis industry growing fast, creating opportunities built to last. Medicinal herbs and business too. Education changing how we view. Greenhouse farming changing the game. Hydroponics helping the grain. Fishery, livestock, fruit tree line. Agriculture make the island shine. Support local every chance they get. Farmer working hard, don't forget. No nation strong if the people can't eat. Local food keep the country complete. Wave your hand for the farmers them. Wave your hand for the growers them. Plant more food, grow more food. Feed the nation like we should. From St. Kitts straight across every side. Food security must be the guide. Aye. 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 No country say without local crops. Never stops. Never stops. From the mountains to the sea. Farming bring prosperity.
Yes, greetings and welcome to the Everything Agriculture Show. You listen to your host, Bankie, and my other host, Yahsonn Tafari. Well, this evening, let me say good evening to the folks in Ole and Liamega. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in and choosing Real Entertainment Network, which is the favorite show and favorite media house to watch when it comes to educational topics like this one. So let me say good evening to the folks in neighboring islands, Sabre, Statia, the US Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, the folks over in Montserrat, also over in Antigua and Barbuda, not forgetting Bermuda, also the folks in the diaspora in North America from the Florida Keys or to Georgia, to Houston, Texas, up to Atlanta, wherever you are throughout the US, and also the folks over in Canada, and not forgetting the folks over in Europe, when it comes to England, Asia, wherever you're at. Great appreciate the guys tuning in. It's another Friday evening. Most people tend to start their weekend having fun, going out for dinners, just time out with the family and stuff like that, just to remain home, do some chores, just to wind down after a hard, as we're going to call it, 40-hour or 50 or 60-hour week, and just want to just relax in the comfort of your home. This evening is no other than any other Friday. We'll be discussing food security, cannabis, and how serious the people of St. Kitts and Nevis out throughout the Caribbean really are when it comes to feeding ourselves, are just a bunch of talk. And I, for one, can't do the talking thing. Either you're doing or you shut up, or that's it. And in these times here, I don't even feel like we need people to be governing us, because from what I'm observing, really, is just like a bunch of people getting their feelings hurt, and then the next get up to the one going on. But gun violence to be the same thing. Until I know when people are serious, I know when people need help, And that is when they start to come together and stop see the divisiveness and let people put them against each other. Especially at the end of the day, only them, their lives still don't even change. So you become dependent on a party because you support, and if that party not in power, then you're sent to go and suffer or whatever it is. We are the same people, Virgin. We got to come better than that and stop these politics on tricksters, players for idiots, and they are our masters. No, them are the sheep. We control them. Bon. So tonight we're gonna go through food security, because when people are destroying food, and the people sit back and watch it, we have lost it. We have lost it. So we're gonna go through some things. We're gonna reason. The line is open up automatically. We're not having a special time to open up the line, because right now we're missing out a lot on Fridays for Yahsonn and me to reason, and so for the next rest of this month, me not get no guess. Me just want to talk, because me tell like how serious me take this thing, and I know serious I be, because when the time come, me not nobody come disturb me, because me don't focus on my thing, because me don't donate more than enough time to society when it comes to development, and when I see people not think serious, me not get involved. Me like to separate myself from things. So, Yahsonn, good evening to you. And let me say, remember, the Everything Agriculture Show is sponsored by Mansell's Last Stop and Shabazz Organics. Just want to give thanks to all those who come in on a weekly basis as I open up today from 7 o'clock, 6:30. People start coming in and so showing a lot of love. And the tourists them used to come over the years, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, get married here, keep coming back looking for Manson, remember the place, and love what's going on, and I keep giving the history of my uncle, and that's what it's all about, keeping a legacy alive, and people are supposed to never forget. And meeting all kind of people coming by and stuff like that, people from St. Bart's. I mean, everybody love the farm and see the potential of the farm and see the vision and what's about to happen in the next year or less, when all these coconut trees and fruit trees don't, I mean, the sauce-up trees, them all don't start to bloom and stuff like that. But we're getting to all these things when we get into the discussion. So we really want you guys to partake and also call in and speak your mind when it comes to food security and what's really going on when it comes to the devastation and stuff like that. Because the Minister of Agriculture, which is Minister Eric Evelyn, and the Premier of Navies seems to talk a lot, but no action, and making an excuse for his minister failing. And we're in a bad state. Can you see the wall ago? bad state. Dominica boat of feed us, tropical boat of feed us. So Yahsonn, what's going on with you?
I am going to start by telling you that you need to make a little correction, because you say it's just talk, but I see the premier doing some backyard gardening and watering some peppers.
I see AI. What you see?
I see watering with the garden hose. Well, I don't know if it's exactly watering or downing the plants them, but watering, attempting to water some plants and showing that he's doing some backyard gardening. And I must commend him for being consistent with that, in the sense of at least seeking to promote backyard gardening, which is something that we ourselves promote. So I'll start off with that. And as I start off again, I want to just say good evening to everyone, Oli, Layamiga, everybody, greetings. Welcome to another edition of Everything Agriculture. It's a beautiful Friday evening, and it's always a pleasure to be here on Real Entertainment Network and to be here with my brethren and co-host Shabazz Bankie King, as we, as always, keep it real, bring various topics that are timely and needed, and as we would say, we don't butter it up, we just bring it as it is. And so we look forward to another engaging discussion. There are a number of things that I would throw out, and some questions that I would ask in between to stimulate the thoughts and have us really thinking about our situation, and really zoom in on food security and agriculture, and how are we going to really combat and or be prepared because it's better to be prepared than to have to be combative. So we're more seeking to help you to get on the preventative side. And so we are going to have some questions and some of these discussions to make you at least, help to prick your consciousness, as we would say, so that you could begin to think on that kind of level. And so we look forward as well to your early engagement, as Shabazz would have highlighted. The number to call in is 1-869-662-7196. That's 1-869-662-7196. And we are opening up the lines from as early as now. We want to, as much as possible, accommodate you, our listening public. So whatever issues you have tonight is your night, we talk in agriculture, and you know that cannabis is a part of agriculture. So yes, we talk in cannabis as well. But we other topics may come on the table, but it is agriculture, mainly agriculture we're really dealing with. So those who are on the wall, on the platform, greetings Woodland Hill, greetings original Ras Lyrics, greetings,
Yes, I big up yourself, lyrics.
all who are logging in. We're gonna, as much as possible as well. Sure, well, we're not trying here. We will, as much as possible, read the comments that pop up on the various platforms, whether it's the YouTube and or the Facebook, and so that we, as much as possible, give you, the listening public, an opportunity to engage with us as much as possible. So at this time as well, I would want to encourage all who are logged in to subscribe to, if you're on Facebook, subscribe to the Facebook. And even if you're on Facebook, take 10 seconds before we really get into the meat of things. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube platform, go over to YouTube, type in Real Entertainment Network, we will pop up. Click on the subscription notice, like it, share it, and click on the notification bell so that you're informed every time that we are here on the platform. That's all we're asking. Take 10 seconds before we get into the meat of things. Share if you're already here on Facebook to whoever, all who on your platform, all the groups that you're in, right? Share it. Right? If you're on Facebook and you're not on YouTube, go over to the YouTube. Take 10 seconds. Type in the search engine, Real Entertainment Network. Click on the notification bell. Subscribe, like, and do the same thing. Share it. Don't let anybody miss out on this edition and any other editions on our platform. So with that said, Bankie, just want to say greetings to everybody. Welcome to another edition. And like we said again, the phone lines are open up from very early. Tonight is like your night. We are going to have our little, interjections and things that we're going to put on the table. And you are free to call in with whatever issue. We're talking cannabis, we're talking agriculture, we're talking food security, we're talking about why when the superpowers war, the small islands them starve. And we're talking about what we could do in terms of preparing ourselves and our being equipped to deal with combat if necessary, but better be prepared for these events if we have to, for some reason, not get ships coming in since we are so dependent on food. How prepared are we if, for whatever reason, some of these canals, like how the Strait of Hamas is being locked out right now, and other canals, and them on this side, well, certain boats are moving, and we are so dependent on these containers coming in. How prepared, how ready are we if we are not able to have these things stacking up in our supermarkets? And these are some of the things that sometimes we don't have the basic, true conversations, as we would say, within Rastafari, because we ain't conning anybody. So, conversations, the true conversation. So we don't have those levels of discussions and discourse. We have a society that sometimes is just bombarded with the petty partisan politics, because we have elections so ever so often that it seems as if they're always in campaign mode. And a lot of this divisiveness, as Bankie would have, highlighted again in his original statement, is part of why the main issues sometimes are not necessarily placed on the front burner, so that we get to really get engaged and discuss and talk about and address some of these pertinent issues that affect everybody, not just affect PAM, Labour, CCM, PLP, and any other new party that may be forming, but it is of some interest for everybody. And we need to, as a people, begin to be able to differentiate when issues are going to be affecting everybody, when issues are deemed national issues and should not be looked upon from any political perspective, and just deal with it as an issue that is confronting the nation. We need to begin to, as a people, have that sort of paradigm shift. It is absolutely necessary for us to survive within these times. That paradigm shift is absolutely necessary. And so, these are some of the things that are going to form a part of our discussion this evening. And like we said, the phone lines are open up. 1-869-662-7196. And you can call in. You can address whatever issue you want to address. Please, we just want to encourage you to not disrespect anybody and not seek to try to defame anybody, because we don't want the platform to be in any disrepute and have to be dealing with any legal issues. We want you to, as much as possible. You can be forceful, you can be passionate, like you would realize Bankie and I are, but at the same time, take the time to formulate your thoughts and your issues, so that you deal with the issues and not personalities and not name calling and them kind of things. Because you can, we're people and we can be passionate about whatever issue without having to disrespect anybody or go down that kind of road. And we don't want to have to go down that road on this platform. So that's all we're asking of you within the, You call and you can address whatever issue you want to, but just be respectful, put forward your point as passionate as you want to be, and we're going with it. So Bankie, greetings to everybody.
Yes, Yahsonn, let me say, I'm one of those extension officers that was at Department of Agriculture. I've worked throughout all the communities, worked with 99% of the schools. It doesn't matter where they're at, from Miss Cross down in town, so whether it's preschool, high school, with the SBAs, most of the time I'm the one. But I even work with you too. I mean, I forgot you was at the high school doing your thing, and I would got you there selling, getting melons and stuff from me, and you got the whole school turn yellow and then kind of vibe. So me and you have a long time, I almost forget the part there. So my thing is, no space is too small, and I got to give respect to those with in the greenhouses. They have seen the need to it. They had invested in it, and there come a time where, and I think it was on the team Unity, where they had got and purchased some greenhouse where some was allocated to navies, and then I was put in charge to put the list who should get and whatever. So got a big up man like Danny, big up man like Mackie Chos, Richard Paris Leafy Green over there, who you find it all throughout in Rams, in navies, and body sink kits. That is someone who wanted me when I cut a code and I built my hydroponic system, and he was like very interested and was blown away to see plants growing in water and different stuff, and take the initiative to have the interest and read upon it and research and stuff like that. So, yeah, I want to do this. And I said, Bridget, you're going to work. You just got to put in the work and the time and learn it. Because when you're going to a business, it's not about going to a business to hire people. You too must know the fundamentals and what it takes, learn what the plants need to grow, understand the pH of the water and all this different stuff. And maximum respect, Chris, every time. I say Mackie start off with one, and Mackie expanded, and then Danny the same expanded, and big up Najee the same way. Then the human Anthony Gage started same when improving. Then Pinny come with a different style, put on some over 200 feet greenhouses right there. They was shut down for a while, and then after I left the department, his mom came and well, he reached out to me and stuff like that and so forth. And I get the operation back up and running, where it's still, since I've left, still running up until today, and the evidence is there to see how I set it up and lay it out, and they always have something harvesting. Agriculture is one of those industry. If need financing and need a lot of money and use a lot of water, and if we as a people can, every time we go on the radio, we speak about our literacy rate is so high. Anybody can open up a book and read a book, my virgin. Anybody can open a book and read a book, but if you don't understand what you're reading and know how to apply it, that I mean you can read it. Nah, you can call words. That's what it is. It's all about, and this is how we are running the country, because we're saying we're smart, but then we're eating food from other people. We here as indigenous people from St. Kitts Nevis, Oli, Liamega, our body is adapted. Is the same as in the soil, because this is where we are. Each person from the indigenous place, the body is just like, what if I go here and go to Guyana or Jamaica and start drinking the pipe water? It will affect me because my body is not accustomed to the tap water. It won't affect those who are there. So you realize how these people in this area do these things, because that's what they're accustomed to. We adapt to our environment, but we here not realizing we're doing injustice to ourselves. We end up with all these drunkard diseases and stuff like that. They're not the non-communicable diseases, the heart attack, the hypertension, all these different stuff. Because, and at the same time, we're not as active too. It's like we don't want to sweat. You see? So we're eating bad. And still, even though the food is grown here, that doesn't mean the food is grown safe either, because a lot of farmers use a lot of dangerous chemicals. Because the government is who sell all these highly toxic chemicals. Yes, they have some that is in the green, but some is in the yellow, but some is in the red too. And so the other places, businesses that go to the hard way, they sell 7 and all this stuff. My point is what I'm trying to get across, Yahsonn. The first thing we come up with greenhouse technology, because these are high intense farming, using a small space to grow maximum food in a controlled environment. But with these things, what you're gonna need, any of these guys you talk to, they would go on the next 10 greenhouses because you can't produce enough food. And these have nothing to do with outside planting. You see what I mean? But what you think the most thing you're gonna need if you want to tame a greenhouse? No more water again. Is more water. So every time you're actually thinking about adding up your production, you gotta think about water increase. You see, the outside world, which our farming is going on, you know, water and all these things is supported to these places, to most of these farms, you know. It's whether it's from rivers, whether it's from the government is subsidized and should I get water. We can't be paying for water and stuff like that if we want us to produce food. And we got to get off of the main system and drill wells, shallow wells, which have brackish water, which is better for the plants, and not using water that is chlorinated, treated to go for the house and stuff like that. We're not as wise as we think. And not when so any of these guys you talk to within the greenhouse technology, one thing I want to talk about is finance. They would love to employ people because they would need the help, but the help is not there. So when the premier and the come knock on a crop, I see it totally different, because I know I'm the technical person. I'm the one who involved with all. You can call any one of these guys, Danny, anyone they we call, don't say yes. They not go against me because I'm the one who has been around and still involved. You see what I mean? I mean, I will stop because I'm interested in planting food till me transition. I'm interested in nothing else because money can't eat. You see what I mean? Because who have the food going to control who they're going to sell it to, you know. So, and that's the next thing. So, when I got all the money sit down, and nobody going to come and think they can buy me out because I sell me things I want too. You see? And that is something going to become a problem, because people going to think because they have the money, they can come and say, oh, why not? No work so. So, when they give you all, what my neighbor going to eat, what you're going to get, and what me going to need. So, keep your money. And we're going to take our balance out and make sure so this get and things are done equally. Because that's what they really can come to. Because with all these war going on, and most of the industrial, when it comes to farms, are highly used of fertilizers. And these places over there is where a lot of these fertilizers coming from. and then they're coming to us because we're getting thousands of fertilizer from Morocco, which is from the Kingdom of Morocco, which is donated to us. You understand? I've been in the workshop there when it comes to soil. Every December 6th, around there they have scientists from all over the world meet up in Rabat, Morocco, where they have serious workshops and seminars when it comes to soil and soil degradation and use of nutrients and greenhouse technology and all these different very intense training for like 2.5, 3 weeks. You understand? And then they'll take you to some farms in different areas in Kenitra and stuff like that. I mean, blow your mind, some citrus areas and stuff, citrus farms and stuff like that. So if we're talking about agriculture and food security, the minister and the premier have failed us big time along this way. So yes, the premier can have a big thing on encouraging the ones to, when it comes to about how come he do it and not the one who is in charge of agriculture. When he came here and said to the nation that he been at Indian Castle, he went to St. Bart's and got over 4,000 coconut trees or 5,000 when he keep bragging about are dead. Source up trees with the world, when we hear one source up a cost $35, $75 US. So source up and source up leaves. They must sell by everything that we have here we take for granted is what the world want, but it advertise it as in South America. But we have everything that is right here. Right now I have Virgin in the States asked me if I have seed under, which is the one which is good for take out control kidney stones and stuff like that. And for dizziness and all the things there. They can't get them in Jamaica. My farm low down with them where the crocus bar. You understand? And when it comes to St. John's Bush, when it went in the water, you'll turn red. Because it's good for people who have anxiety and for depression and all these things. Everything we have here, lemongrass, we take for granted. We don't drink enough teas. We going to find ourselves in a situation where, and I will say right, because I tell you, Yahsonn, we are in a mood where you're finding all different parties coming up, and here, so they're going to run for election, and all kind of people want to run. Okay, but I'm not convinced. All who talk and all who want to jump up, I ain't convinced. Because you see, when it comes to food, nobody talk about agriculture. This is a talk. You see, then the feelings. They ain't saying how they're going to reach out when it comes to attacking the food. The most important thing for their own survival, they're not speaking on. It's all emotion. And the people themselves, which is the biggest resource, ain't serious with themselves either. Because you have Indian Castle, 40 acres of food, with over 600 citrus done, including shaddock. And we sitting here when they say, boy, it's a shame. It's a shame I live in Indian Castle. You hear the premier say he went down there, the minister lived down there, and was cleaning up down there. When they down there, we use vehicles to boot up. Because the guy, clean up the place that mash up, you don't to clean up. You can't make it look no better. So why do you even waste time to rent a vehicle to take out dry leaves? When should the dry leaves? Which way you put them? It makes no sense. We don't destroy because of banana, all the sugar cane. And the thing about with the sugar cane is the minister take the money out of his pocket at the time Alexis Jeffers. You ain't gonna find a minister like Alexis Jeffers a meta plain because he listened to his technocrats. I think because he got the biggest degree. He listened to his technocrats. He listened to what the peers say, what the director say, what me say, and who say. And all you have to do, prove your point. Prove what you say you're going to do and not fail. Fail, you're not supposed to fail. Because you have all the degrees, so how you fail? And you're the scientist, you're supposed to fail, brethren. So I like that man philosophy. So I got a big up zoop on that. The man not accept failures from those who he put to lead and trust in. He said this could do, he could do, yeah, wait. You what tools you need to give you the tools. You see the other tool, going to always get what you want because Gary is about that same way. And Gary going to get so Gary what you want. Eric not ready yet. And the premier, well, Eric can't do nothing since, Since Duke left, Eric don't do nothing in agriculture. What you do? No tractor there. You understand? I one tractor I got. One tractor and I got 2 drivers. So one going just sit down and watch the next one. So he went in the yard all week and if the one go out and he not do nothing. That make any sense? I think that make no sense, Virgin. Storage is an issue. If you want farmers to increase the production, farmers must access to grant, where they can have their own personal storage, both dry and chill. And then you must need to have a central unit where people get paid for their stuff. Virgin, you see me for one, I ain't giving my body, nobody my things them, and letting them sell me things and then pay me 4 weeks later, a month later. No, me ain't that. I don't do that enough time. When a farmer don't go things, pay the man for things and them, I pay within 5-7 days. You don't take a farmer man thing and want get him a wait for anything and you sit down there sell his thing and want anything for nothing. And then want get and then tell all this spoil and that spoil. And they man give you things 100%. What kind of thing is that? You pay a man for things and them. And don't come tell a man you want anything for $1 and you're going to sell for $5 when no, well, I mean, come on. So you don't better the farmer man sell to the community. That's why you're going to sell to the community. Let me sell to the community than to see me give me things and you go out and sell for $100 more, killing the same poor man within the community. Things don't make no sense. How are you? You went dancing? I went dance to practice tomorrow. You know that? All right. So you ready for dance practice tomorrow? All right. See you pushing the door. All right. Well, the little one just come back from dance practice, you know, so tomorrow. Yeah, that will be in that. Remember, Leap dance coming up this month, 20th and 21st. Then on Sunday, go and support that. I'll be taking part with my daughter along with some and next probably 30 other dads. I know how they're gonna come up, but the neighbor gonna come last. So these dance moves and so forth, you gotta get more female genes to do this kind of move, because these moves can't go walk. Being so flexible to do some of these things, but it's all in good faith and good fun and supporting your youth and so forth. You know, a lot of dads decide not to show up, but those who come out and sign up, got to big them up and so forth. We're having fun and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't matter. Don't expect nothing. If it's whatever it is, you all just come out and so forth and have a good laugh at that thing, because I guess everybody will be laughing. I can't even talking about it, I can't keep my composure. But Yahsonn, back to the topic. Food security. You can't be talking water. You see, in these times here, farmers are crying out because the place in this time is coming to summertime. I always expect this Sahara does some extreme heat. So what I'm doing right now is cleaning up the dry leaves of the banana tree and putting them around the root zone to keep in that moisture, because it's windy. So you keep down the evaporation rate and the transpiration and all that stuff, guys. Everything is hot, a lot of sun, a lot of wind. So evaporation is going to increase right there in 2 ways. So these times here, I do so it's same, get up, go outside in my yard and cut off the dry leaves, put them on the root zone and stuff like that. So this kind of times in June, I call it the summer cleaning. So I'm doing the summer cleaning on the farm. The grass is in some areas is not too green, but it's easier to cut. Much lighter, cause less water in it. So it's not about the time like this. I don't cry about the weather good to me. You see? So in these times, like, I maintain and I plant, and that's it. So for one, people and don't need help. But it's same thing with election. We're still divided. We just want to see each party politics in power, but yet we still getting the same not both. It's only when the people come as one and realize all these parties are canos. Our leaders willing to give up 2, 5, 6 square miles of land for development, where me out here so have to pay tax, have to do all this thing, go by the rules. Well, yes, son, but you know what? Got your own, like a Leonard Howell, got Pinnacle, got 2,000 acres, and you got your own community, all your schools and your hospital, and living how you want, and not paying a tax and burn up Babylon. Well, how come I not get an opportunity there? Well, how come the rest of them not get the opportunity, but so they want to live? And this, so what happened to farming? Where farming going to expand? So with this community, me and you having 40,000 people, and we embrace these things. So we people that want to help, Virgin, when the people want help, the whole they come together and demand better. Or they just tell all that we don't need you all to govern us, and we'll govern ourselves and put things in place where we want. We farm our own thing and demand these things. Until I ain't convinced by none of what I'm seeing with all who coming out and who talking is emotions, Virgin. These people are just they've just been hurt. I sit and I analyze and I keep analyzing, and the more it's just like it's a comedy show. Because if you check it out and watch it, all of them, their feelings have been hurt. Because the people they put the trust in her got them a cry. So then they just have everybody the emotional one from their own party, one from their own this, and they're gonna do better. I ain't convinced. Take more than that to convince me. And I say, well, I gonna continue planting food, and I want to hear all who got a lot to say. I want them cover our show and 2 hours show and talk about agriculture for 2 hours straight. And that's what I want. Hear what the plan is when it comes to diversify the economy, when it comes to agriculture, and train young people and encourage young people and put these things, encourage the fishing industry, make it bigger and all this different stuff. And this thing. Me don't want to hear about the mango and mango. No, that's not good enough. About the mango. Me go buy a mango pulp and me go pump my old mango and create my own thing and me dehydrate. Me do all the things to myself. Tell me about the mango, this and mango, that. I don't think even supposed to a mango. We're talking about the nonsense is that. That is not talking agriculture, virgin. There's a whole blue economy out there. So let me hear ideas. Proper storage, proper this, proper that. I want to hear things. And we're funding going to put in place and grants going to put in place. How we going to diversify the economy? These are things we want. How we're going to push education different, because all this is going to have to do with agriculture too. The same health is going to come out for agriculture too. Everything we do going to base on how the agriculture sector is and how serious it is. Because agriculture is the driving force, because healthy people and the people that produce food mean you must export your food. Can you have enough to export within the region and globe and internationally? We're not serious. We have been seeing kids, the Prime Minister spent $5 million is injected into a nature walk, however you want to call it, the Tabasco project. Can't plant hot pepper right now, because first thing you must build a facility, because the intention is to mash the hot pepper and then ship it out. But if you ain't got, and you don't need a lot of salt, well, the only good thing, of course, well, the salt pan, go salt again. But to tell a project like that and say you want to produce hot pepper, Tabasco, they have their own recipe. And when you go there stuff, the hot peppers, and then they mix all different hot pepper together into one batch and mash it so you get a distinct flavor. And there's a recipe they have, so which means the government of St. Kitts would have to go build a facility, a factory. So they can't plant the hot pepper because already 90 days. So if you don't build a factory yet, well, you never plant none. And you must have the recipe, and then you have to go ship out that. I mean, that's a bad idea. The intention of that project was to sit with the farmers, talk to the farmers, come up with a price, and let the farmers go, the peppers will ship them back to the people them. You don't come with the idea you want to go pepper and produce the pepper and mash it back, and then people have to get some special barrel again. Okay? Special barrel, like a wine. And when they put in the mash, they'll mix up in the barrel there. You got to throw almost 10, 20 pounds of salt on the top to preserve it. Then the hot pepper they're not going to use again for the next 40, 50 years. So we use the Tabasco sauce. Using pepper that don't grow and mash and preserve for 50 years, 40 years. That's how they got millions of barrels of hot pepper in a barrel stuck up to the roof in a warehouse. It's bigger than Valuemart and Rams and them put together. So they got anything in the pan is on the island. Okay? So then now the navies and thinking now stop them the process from producing peppers. We're just putting ourselves in a bad situation. So all these resources could have been going into farmers' hand and back with his backyard, small gardens. No space is too small because everyone who is farming making a contribution to food security. They're feeding themselves and they're also helping, probably giving donation within the community. So I give credit for all those when I want to see whoever little garden. Maximum respect every time.
But Bankie, in our fairness, we don't know exactly what adjustments they might have made to their plan, because seemingly when I hear about the project, it is not just a Tabasco project. I hear that they are planning to plant a couple of other crops and as well.
Potato, pumpkin, my dead too, because they're not going to water, they're not going to drip line. So we want to plant in the
I don't know. We don't know exactly what the proposal is.
Dead because
no. So I mean for the entire new scheme. I remember when you went and Louisiana with them and all that, you would have been a part of that plan. But what I'm saying is, seemingly, this SKN farm project now would have been an
Yes.
adaptation to some of probably what you all would have dealt with, and they probably would have
Yeah.
been back to the table and put maybe some other things in
Of
place
course.
to try to see how
Well,
they
what they
could
want to
make it
do,
feasible.
do an Indian
But we
classes
don't
though, food,
exactly, but
cheese.
we don't exactly what the plan is. So that's what I'm saying. In our field, I don't.
Well,
I would have
me know,
preferred.
you don't know, but I know. I'm in farm, so I could talk, so I know.
Okay,
Well, let me
well, me.
talk. Let me say, well,
Okay,
the
sorry, go
idea
ahead.
is to plant acreage of coconut trees, food trees, and other stuff, because you really should be at least 100 to 200 acres of land, along with
Right.
other food trees and stuff when it comes to improve, you know what I mean, the coconuts and all the different stuff, same way. But all these come into play when it comes to the pumpkin and the sweet potatoes because the dance can't pay for the light, the funding to build all these factory and set up this factory to produce this pepper because you can't plant go set peppers and the factories ain't up yet. You have to spend millions into machineries. The kind of machine these people have when they're doing this pepper in cooking the pepper in is like 1,000 and 2,000 gallon drum in a stainless steel drum in a virgin drum so big yet. A pot if you want to call them the pot. Cause when they don't make one of the barrel, the one barrel, and then jump then 1,000 gallon or 2,000 gallon or 5,000 gallon, gone full over 150,000 at the Tabasco pepper backle and them when you see my can Tabasco sauce. That how much one of that they don't really don't do. How much backle they have produce? 150,000. He said, well, sir. So you have to go up in the airplane like a bridge to walk across to look down in the job. Because the pictures them is there on the internet. You can find them on the internet, Tabasco SARS delegation, and you all look it up and you all find them. They will there. You understand? So let me try to show you what the industry this thing here is. So we have the government have, and then is the Prime Minister running this project in under Mr. Agriculture, under Samuel Duggan, so I understand it. It's a comedy. It's really serious. So some of the things going on with this project, so you can't talk on it. Can the Prime Minister take full responsibility for this? So why would that happen? Why would the Prime Minister do something like that? When you're going to need the Agriculture Department along with the extension staff to check for these when this thing ready to kick off the ground. Make no sense, yes, son. Our people are the problem with too in-depth, and then the churches them sit down, the whole community are the problem. Me blame on this one. Nobody escape this one, yeah. Because without food, we don't exist. Without plants, we don't exist. Because the plant is who giving us the oxygen for it to breathe. Because we breathing out poisonous gas, killing off our own self. So the plant that will save us, taking in all what we breathe out and giving us oxygen. And we don't care about the environment. We care about with nice clothes and who's speaking well and caught up in all kind of nonsense and nasty importance of growing your food and investing. We are the lowest budget, my virgin. We ain't serious. We ain't serious. So I ain't entertain a body when it comes to politics. Cause they not serious, yes, son. If none of these people can come up and have 2 hours when it come to agriculture and tell me what the plan is. I ain't see it yet. I ain't seen nobody. Only me and you do this here. They can't talk agriculture for 2 hours and you and convince the people to vote for you. People them head no good. Their head no good. None of them head good. You never all they do as you hear people talk about this word cost. Where men get the time to be each other. Them the female tendencies. When the issues to be talking about, I want to hear them talk agriculture for 2 hours on the radio show. That's what they need to be doing. So until then, yes, I'm taking my people serious. People are serious. What you're going to see happen is people coming from outside the neighboring islands and appreciate what a few farmers here doing and want to buy out with food. I don't see it happening. I see it happening already. I don't see people coming visit my farm from St. Bart's and places, want my planting, want my this, want my that. You see what I mean? It's going to start happening. You hear the people come here and say how much one coconut costs in St. Bart's. 75 easy. I hear that's right. And he got over 5,000 long dead, right? So, me and take the premier serious what you talking about. Make no sense, brethren. They may just talking and people entertain me because they getting $1 and getting in a position and a title. Think they not fool me. You see? The day when the fat lady stops saying you can't eat your money, it never happened. Yes, and you can get into some of the comments, but as the telephone line is 662-7196, because we got help to pay the price, I'm telling you this because we keep using water that should be used for going to the houses and stuff like that. And we're still using that water for agriculture. So it's right there, we're not serious. And every time we talk about drilling wells, agriculture will still be a part using most of that water. They're not talking about drilling other wells that could use for farming in the farming districts and so forth. So which land is allocated for agriculture? Earmark. Norway. We have a poultry industry. What happened to it? There are people I know who invested in a machinery again, a slaughtering house already, because they talk about this poultry industry. We're going on with it. Nothing. You see? Nothing. You think fishermen are supposed to have a proper thing where you can have the abattoir, have a fishing where you want processing plant and in an area, and then you have a proper boat for fish, a pier where fishermen supposed to pull up and have with gas and all this different stuff and ice and all these things. We don't serious about agriculture, virgin. Talking about and just met the same man we call who have the greenhouses. They'd like to get 10 more. Well, how you help them get 10 more? The same man then who plant is sometime last week agriculture stuff asked me, well, what are we going to do with the monkey banky? Me say, what are we going to do with the monkey? I'm in the department. Me supposed to ask I what I'm going to do with the monkey. So how they ask me what they're going to do with the monkey? I'm in the department no more. You understand? Ask the minister and ask the premier. And them in charge, not me. I'm just here educating. But at the same time, they're not listening. You can't. You gotta have the extensions of when they go out. They should have a rifle. The same when farmers should have a rifle, BB gun, pellet gun, small 22s. Train them to use these things, and at the same time to set traps in different areas. And the same time, agriculture have all these. I don't know what to do with them if they don't give them. Because they like to give us stuff, and they people give people stuff, and they're not into use. You see what I mean? Yahsonn, all people ain't serious, and all people don't need help. Okay, when you need help, you demand it because our money is taken up and given to other people who is not from here, and we accept it. You see, we accept these things. You see the shopping call board come in, load off with containers, and everybody was going to Ramsden Wednesday to get the fruits and vegetables. You don't see it. You see?
Isn't it what we want?
Oh, that's what you want? That's what you want.
Well,
You can take a little banana from Answer's last stop and take a banana come out from the container there and eat it, and you'll see which one do more good to your body and the flavor of everything. That banana was never dipped in fungicide, Them when you come out this market been dipped, even them come from Dominic have to be dipped in fungicide before you reach to your and you know how long it been picked. When you come to my farm, you see the banana you want, you pick it in a dipping in nothing is naturally grown. You understand? In your soil, which is the same as your gut microbe. Your money can't put price on that.
Right now, as I listen to you, like you make me think of Brother Walcott James, because right now I could do with Brother Walcott James statistics in terms of from 2020 to 2025 in terms of the food import and so, to show you how serious these people be, and to show you that in the last budget, in the last budget, the money for agriculture was decreased. So you're trying to improve the food import bill. Reduce the food import bill. But yet you're seeking to decrease the amount of money you want to invest in agriculture. Well, that in itself is telling me that you are not serious. So that's what I'm saying. So from there, we are seeing the lack of seriousness. But on that level, Bankie, I want for the people to really recognize the seriousness of the issues that we have to deal with. When large countries fight economically, politically, military, throughout sanctions, food prices rise, shopping routes are disrupted, fertilizer becomes scarce, fuel prices increase, and imported foods become more expensive.
Of course.
We're gonna get more expensive food. We're gonna eventually get maybe empty shelf because both them can't
We're
come
gonna hear the
in.
community is over because somebody put on $1 on the bread. But we think if flour go up and whatever go up, a man put it, man have to keep it price. If plastic will go up, you gonna have to put it price. That's the reality. And bread
Increase
alone,
hunger.
other thing will go up same way. So how you make this about bread alone? No want to milk and rice and gas. Would that make any sense? They see the man a serious virgin and farmers seeds and all these things. So we talk about a bread. Where the flour go, you know? When the
Well,
goat, the goat be for free.
that come down to the next point. We import too much of what we eat. Most Caribbean nations import between 60 and 90% of the food. St. Kitts and Nevis import millions of dollars worth of food annually. Every
Yes.
container delayed affects local food availability, and we have become consumers rather than producers. And a country that cannot feed itself is vulnerable to every global crisis. So if you're in a position where you can't feed yourself, every little thing is likely to affect you. And we're seeing it right now with the fuel, as we just mentioned, with the cost of the prices of everything in the supermarkets, because most of what is in the supermarkets are imported things. And we're not seeing the need to zoom in on empowering our local farmers and local producers and empowering some of those local farmers to become local producers and agro processors so that they could turn some of their raw material into products, value added products that could then bring in a different revenue exchange, and that can help to reduce the import and maybe put us in a position where we could then even export to neighboring islands certain things. But we need to at least first begin to reduce our food import bills. And a lot of these things, Banky ain't taking a rocket scientist, you know. I mean, it's just people who have that willingness and that ability, because we know conflicts between Russia and Ukraine show the world how fragile food systems are, because both countries are major exporters of wheat, corn, sunflower oil, fertilizer, and when exports slowed, bread prices increased globally, and see, I don't know, we still faced with that again because another issue came up. Fertilizer prices skyrocketed, and it's skyrocketing again. Shipping costs increase, and it's still increasing again. So the
Yeah,
lesson that
so
we should learn,
there's some boats that no ain't run since the cost of diesel went up. The,
okay.
some
So
boat is just boat
the
loans and stuff like that.
lesson learned should be a war thousands of miles away affected food prices in Bastille and Charlestown. So if one war can raise food prices overnight, what happens during a larger global conflict? What happens if, you know what I mean, things really, really get crucial? And these are the kind of things that I'm hoping that this discussion could prick the minds of our listening audience and those who are listening and who will follow our yield at the beginning of the program to like, subscribe, and share. So if you're on Facebook, like it, subscribe, share it. Take 10 seconds, go over to the YouTube platform and do the same. If you're on the YouTube platform, make sure you subscribe. Don't just listen, but subscribe and share so that we can have as much persons as possible be engaged in this kind of discussion and to begin to think more along these lines, because now more than ever, food sovereignty and food security is of utmost importance. Another important reason for this, Bankie, climate change makes import dependence more dangerous. Small islands already face drought, flooding, hurricanes, coastal erosions. When local production is weak and imports are interrupted simultaneously, the consequences become very severe. One major hurricane season, and we have just entered the hurricane season, June within, could affect Caribbean ports. So then you run the risk of some port over there blocking the boat from coming in, and you also run the risk of your port being damaged now, so that even if the ship could come through, the ship can't dock. Shipping schedules. I mean, if hurricane, it might affect a boat, it might not affect you directly, but waters may be rough in some other Caribbean island where the boat might be at this time and it was supposed to reach St. Kitts and Nevis Friday, but it's not going to reach until 2 weeks after. Regional food production, all of these things can happen at once. What is our backup plan if ships stop coming for 3 months? These are some questions that we really got to think about. What is our backup plan? These are things that we got to ask our elected officials. These are things that we got to think about as a people. But we also got to ask who we put there to represent us. Before you come in, Bankie, I just want to remind folks that the lines are open up. Tonight is our night. Sometimes you all say that we have the guests talking and we don't give you all an opportunity to call in. Tonight, the lines are open up. We open up the lines from the beginning of the show. You're free to call in and, weigh in and give your opinion. 1-869-662-7196. That's 1-869-665. Sorry, 662-7196. In the meantime, Bankie, before you come in, I'll just read a couple of comments that are on the line. The ultimate movie clip says greetings and blessings.
Greetings.
Roots life. Okay, all of that. Roots life. Blessed evening. Oliver Liebert. Blessed King, greetings. He says hi, Kings. Good night and.
Yes,
I am here.
Yeah, man. That's the man for the you and honey. Just link up Oliver if you're looking local honey.
I was just about to make that plug and say, if you need local honey, check Ali the man Ali up St. Peter's, and you can get a bottle.
But do you have honey Ali, and how much for the honey? Just so we can put in a plug for that, at least can send the information in a message if you have honey available.
If you have available and the price, and you can put it in the chat so that folks will and you can put in your number too. So if they're interested in getting you, they can reach out to you. Mussington say greetings, Bankie and Yahsonn. And we got a comment on the wall for a bit asking, what can we do about the abundance of wasted mangoes that fall on the ground and stays there? That's something that we have been, talking about over the years. Right here on this platform, I want people to know. I know a lot of people have just joined the platform because, the platform has grown over the past couple of months or a year or so. But we have been here for 5 going on to 6 years. And we have been pushing a lot of these issues and presenting a lot of these issues over the years. And we have had a lot of, suggestions. And there are a lot of things that's been happening. I have learned in recent times. And I am hopeful that, let me not say, because sometimes maybe it's just that I am not on the platforms, or the platforms are not necessarily as popular in the algorithms for me to see them when they're advertised and promoted and so on, in terms of promos from maybe the agro processing to encourage people to bring mangoes into pulp and or what varieties they're seeking to purchase, because I know sometimes they do purchase various varieties and they will take from the public. So maybe the public, this is a plug now for agro processing, so maybe the public need to update themselves with agro processing and find out what varieties of mangoes they're seeking and are paying for, and also the 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 amount of pulp and so on that they would be willing to take and so on, because they actually do pulping the mangoes as well, and they make some mango based products as well. So I know they did a mango um, leather. They had some mango ice pops and all kind of different things and so on. So maybe I would encourage people to just get in touch with the agro processing, and they would buy from local persons. I learned in recent times that this local product that is being developed on the island, um, the people who make the locally brewed premium craft beer on the island in Nevis Peak, there is a variety that is called, I think, is mango monkey or monkey mango, one out of the two. And I have learned from the proprietor that all of the mango pulp that is used in that product is sourced from the agro processing unit on Nevis. So that is one of the ways that they're utilizing to get rid of the pulp. I don't know of other ways, if they have other contracts with other people and so on, but that is something that I know of. But that's a serious question, because even though these things are happening, there's still a lot of wastage. And so maybe more efforts need to be done from their side to take more. And I think there's another issue where they take a certain varieties, but I think they need to be maybe an area where they could take all kind and maybe do a mixed pulp or something, so that people who may not necessarily need specific varieties but need pulp could still have, because mango pulp, a mango on a whole, it's sad to see so much wastage on a real. So it's something that I think really needs some serious discussion and discourse, and maybe more people as well can begin to get more into agro processing and label and brand other things as well. So these are just suggestions that we are presenting, because sometimes people say that we like to talk about the problems, but we don't offer solutions. And so at the same time, we're seeking to do that. A lot more of maybe the restaurants and people who are into food service and so on should make more use of mango during the time that mango is available. And, seek to not just wait for Mango Festival, but also seek to just add it into your culinary.
But Yahsonn, if
So,
anyone, I want to rebut this, because people cannot say we don't talk about whatever not, and we don't. We always a show, this show by a show. So we always in any shows give advice and do how to do things. So anyone who said that in a whole water. So let me put, so you don't even have to repeat that. Cause that person can't have to be being dishonest. Cause I wish this show is, our shows is not about that. We always give advice, and
no,
so
I
I'm a technical person. I must give advice. So if I say something that is wrong, I will know what it takes. So I will speak about it. So that cannot be a correct statement to make. Never say
no,
something like that.
Banky,
So
hold on,
that
Banky,
can't be.
hold on. The statement was not specific to this platform. So I'm glad that you made that clearance, yes? But
Yeah.
it was over
Yes.
general statement. No, I was not being specific and targeting here, because we do all the time give
Oh well.
suggestions. No, I was just saying generally the people say that sometimes people critique but they don't give solutions. So I was just reiterating that we do give solutions, and so we are, and that is what I was just
Oh.
doing. So now that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Anyway, this comment here, Trevor Benjamin says governments are not serious about food security. They know the potential of agriculture, so they are not willing to invest and empower our people. And I am in total agreement with you.
Well said. Well said, Trevor. Right there. That's the whole
Agreement with you on
so,
this, Trevor. These arguments that
listen,
have been presented
and
for those who have been listening over the years. Um, we have this sort of crab in a barrel mentality, and farmers ain't supposed to look a certain way and live a certain way and have certain, kind of things. And so if they empower farmers, then farmers are going to be on the level with them, and then they would not be able to reach them. And so these are some of the things that, so they can't reach them and fool them off election
reach.
time.
So
$500.
they can't. So the politician don't need. So all those who on a level don't eat, what do they do?
Yeah, but
Okay.
Bankie, okay, listen,
Okay.
listen, listen.
Come in and get the one day.
The government is saying, the government is trying to push back and tell farmers, you want, you say you want, because now you remember a point that I need to challenge the premier and when he comes back on our platform. Because I remember hearing him being a part of this sort of discourse as well, claiming that, well, oh, he feel that farmers were abusing the system when it comes to like getting duty free for vehicles and so on, because in their mindset, they still feel like a farmer should only have a pickup
Why
or
is that?
truck because of the mindset
So why
that
is
they
that?
have. So
Yeah, well, why
these are
is
some,
that? So the explanation is. So what is the explanation behind that? Why should a farmer have a pickup, a bus?
because they still have that
Uh-huh.
stereotypical concept that
Yeah.
the farmer is old dirty man who should just have a pickup who just move on and carry on the things to go and market
Wrong.
and that's it. And maybe an
Yes,
open
son.
back truck.
If you want stuff, you don't want stuff to always to be in the back of a truck all the time, carefully covering from the sun. The sun destroy things. You want stuff to be even trucks you won't hear that carrying water and delivering water to people, and you have water exposed in the sun for over half an hour. Those are not good. And delivering those to people at their place where they're having business, those water will be broken down by the ultraviolet rays in the sun, hit the target in the battles, and you have businesses traveling the water place. We're not calling on the name of them, but still delivering water in open trucks. So these people who sit down and making the decision that a farmer can have this or have that, let them go in the outside world so a farmer drive. Let them go and see AMG Benz wagon, Benz wagon truck, G wagon truck, and something.
So,
F-150. Farmers got multiple vehicles, Virgin. Farmers don't have one type of vehicles.
all of
What kind of
these, all
mindset
of
is these
these,
people?
but
Please.
it's still the same mindset that we have, and that is
I
why I
don't
am.
need no truck. Yes, son. I do not need no truck. I don't need no truck. I want a truck all day. To do what? I don't need. When I need a truck, I hire a truck. So other people get work from me all the time. I need car or jeep. I don't need no truck.
So, so you see how you think, and that's what I'm saying. They still don't understand
Are
that
they ready
farmers
yet?
have the capability to be business minded and business oriented and be able to handle what they need to handle when it is necessary at the time to get what they need to get dealt with. These are some of the things that we really need to understand. So they don't see the other side that the farmer now is into agro processing. What if you have your products and certain products need to be at a cool
Yes,
temperature,
son.
like you highlighted in terms of the
They
water?
know.
So
They
why is it that you
know. A
can't?
family.
And what about if you got some branded products and you are dealing with some high end, like so for example, like you were dealing with the cannabis event that was at Marriott's. So you the farmer, you're supposed to pull up in a Marriott's in to put out your
A
table
truck.
with your fancy goods them and so with your old dirty farmer truck. You're not supposed to get a nice high end car that you could give somebody the valley. You keep to tell them park up your car because you're the farmer, so you're supposed to look dirty. You're supposed to get the impression that you are on a certain level and you're able to empower yourself. We need to change and dispel these kind of mindsets. And these are things that
It's
we
the
really
people,
need to.
yes, and the people, American people entertain this kind of crap. You can't tell a farmer what to buy. You can't tell a
But
farmer to buy. This is nonsense. This
you
mind
are
frame.
telling you, I hear the premier with this sort of discussion, and you would hear the minister. I'm not certain if I would have heard something like that from the agriculture minister in St. Kitts as well too. But these are
No, you're right in
sometimes
what you're saying,
the
because I
mindset.
know there are
They
people who went to get jury-free concession and they bring in telling them not give them, or where you buy you need a truck. You should have, we need a truck for it. You want a truck to hire a truck? What are you talking about? Eh? The people are ready yet. This is showing you the point where our people are still in own age mentality. So you see, when we not take nobody serious one here, when we want to hear all these people who sit them and run up talk about agriculture for a whole month straight, I don't want to hear them do. Coming, they can't do it because they have no ideas, they have no plan, they're just in the emotions, Bridget. just in the emotion. I know people in the emotions. You see what I mean? Every day I get up and I go to my work, which is my farm, and be there before 7 o'clock and leave after 5 or later. Unless I have to tomorrow I have to go to my daughter and leave maybe about 3:30 to be there for 4 o'clock and stuff like that. You see when I come home in my yard, come my yard and my garden too. Come down a season pepper plant in the blocks and different stuff and so forth. I'm gonna set up the grill, put in some more different things and so forth. So they can go on. Take your son. If you can't feed me, me want nothing from you. That's just what it is. If you can't feed me, me want hear nothing from you. If you can't tell me you're cutting down this food import bill and encourage these supermarkets to buy local bananas, local, we can do it. I know we can do it, you know. But the system don't want it to happen. It's just that the system behind other stuff when it comes to cannabis, the agencies and within the government system, they don't want to about these things, yeah. Because you're going to need more water. And you see? And then you're going to power the locals, them, to. So who you want to go? People coming out so that make money and give them land to make money? And that you want? So how you empower people? You must empower your own people, my virgin. People, you see Burkina Faso? People solve the problem, but they want no one that to happen. You see? Because they're all in the same cup, drinking out the same cup. That's why you see your premier can't touch. That is always a coup. It's a coup. Are you failing the people? And that need to happen throughout the world. People take things in their own hand and govern themselves and put who they want to run the country. Because these are not going to do it. None of them going to do it. I know that. They're not going to do it, Virgin. We see that. We're accepting these things. Maybe your son, because the people don't want to be saved. I know they don't want to be saved. How much churches run here? When I in Indian Castle, the church, they couldn't get all the banana they want, all of this, all of that. How much things don't go on since? How much harvest don't go on since? They don't come by my man said, they're not going in Indian Castle. You understand? And they're quiet. So to take these people serious, Virgin, me not take them serious. Not take the body serious. Yeah. Because me know they ain't serious. I know people need help. You come together and you come together as one and stop being divided. If you are divided between COVID, you think you'll come together and this, the world don't show, everybody don't show the card, Virgin. Everybody don't show the hand. Against me.
Bankie,
is a super spreader. So me not serious, so me can save these people who still fight against me, the super spreader, when me not get sick yet. You see? Me not get sick yet, you know, but me give them disease, who take injection and gun mask.
How would the people unite? How would the people unite when it is those who are elected to lead are the king of divisiveness? Are the ones who are
own virgin, you have a brain of your own and stop listening to those who are at the pulpit and those who look up to in a toy and think for yourself. No man who look at me and you're supposed to tell me how to live and how to do nothing. He can't control nothing. No man.
Those who would love to be able to think for themselves prefer to subjugate that responsibility to those who they hire to think for them. Okay. 1-869-662-7196. 1-869-662-7196. There's plenty of disagreement in the land at the moment, some serious threats to sovereignty. But I hope that everyone can agree with how crucial food security is for the nation. And before the caller call in, I want to highlight that point because that was the next point that I was getting to. Food security is national security. Most people think national security means police, guns, and borders. But a hungry population becomes a security issue. Food shortages, social unrest, crime, political instability, and public health issues. An army that cannot defend a hungry nation, which is a great to a nation. An invading army are empty supermarket shelves. And these are serious questions and issues that we have to think of and we think of when we talk about food security. and food sovereignty. And we want to remind the
Have a caller
callers,
coming in, Yahsonn.
we want to remind the callers, the
Admin.
numbers are 1869 662
And we have the caller, Yahsonn.
Caller, good evening.
Yes, you're live. You're live. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing this evening? This is Faye. I'm Nevis Tourism Authority. Sorry to just break in this a bit there, but you know, I want to speak about mangoes. Good evening, Bankie.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
Man. Good evening, Yahsonn. I hope all is well. But I just calling in.
You can't. Yes, and this man tripping. This man, you should be on this show. You're calling on this show. So you should be on top a guest on this show. You calling it? Go ahead.
Well, when you give me the time to be a guest, I will. I just want to give a quick. I want to invite everyone to the Nevis Mango Festival. It is from the 2nd of July to the 5th of July. We're having so many different mango events. As you know, Nevis has over 40 varieties of mangoes. And I'm inviting everyone listening to the show and persons from overseas to come and enjoy, you know, all of the various events that we have. And I know that most persons come to the Sunday, which is the For Love of Mango, and that is able to participate and experience over 60 different chefs creating various mango-infused samples from your chicken, your fish, your lobster, your conchs, anything you could think of. We have it here on Nevis. And if you just want to eat your mangoes as it's grown naturally, you're able to visit the Mango Man, and he will have over 20 plus different varieties of mangoes.
So the Mango Man,
you will know who the Mango Man be.
Yes, who the Mango Man be?
Maybe I'm speaking to the Mango Man right now.
Who is the man? Who the Mango Man? Who is the Mango Man? Yes, sir. The Mango Man is a secret, no?
Mango Man. So as I said, if you eat naturally,
Bankie, hold the phone closer to the mic.
Mangoes, you get to taste it. Nevis is the place to be from July 2nd to the 5th, as we have over 44 different varieties of mangoes. I invite one and all Nevis. Get your tickets at www.nevismangofest.com. Again, nevismangofest.com. I will see one and all at the Nevis.
Yes, but before, Mr. Jones, before you go, what are some of the other activities for the Sunday that anyone who want to be a part of? If they ain't booked out yet, that can be a part of.
Thank you for saying that to me. There are many different activities. On the Thursday, we have an activity by the name of Nevis Goes Mango. It's very new. This is where we're all over the business to put something mango inspired on your menu, whether it's a drink, a sample, anything, and we will send persons out in the community to go to all of the various businesses. On the Thursday evening, we have the supper, which is at Mango's Restaurant, Four Seasons. You get to put on your nice dandan and have an elegant dinner. On the Friday, we have Mango Mania. You're able to participate in mango tasting, mango eating competition, mango stoning, mix competition. And it is at Chaska, formerly Ubrenta.
Okay.
And the evening of the Friday, you have the Mango Bar Crawl, and that is at the famous Penny's Beach. Saturday, we have the Passport Fall. You're able to go out throughout St. Nevis, and you'll be able to go to the various mom and pop restaurants and get a true Nivision cuisine experience. And on the Sunday, you'll have For the Love of Mango, all the chefs, concert, chef come and think of. It's like Mango Land, times 10. So I just invite one and all to the Nevis Mango Festival.
Yahsonn, that's a lot to do.
Very big weekend. And from my understanding, on the Passport Food Tour, we will have the Heritage Village taking part in that as well.
Beautiful.
So, it's going a lovely weekend. There's so much to do. And the beautiful thing about the Mango Festival, the whole island is involved with the Mango Festival. So you get to experience Nevis and mangoes at the same time. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, Jones, and I think they could not choose a better person when it comes to promoting the Mango Festival. I think one of these days we'll see a statue of yours next to Sim down in town, Yahsonn. Job well
I
done.
think you get me and you. Me and you. The mango man, the mango man.
All right, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, and big up the team at the NTA for all the work, the good job they've been doing when it comes to promoting Nevis and the varieties of mango that they have on the. I mean, I've seen this event grown over the years, over at Oli, over a little piece of land, and look at where you've reached in this time now. It's a beautiful thing, and Yahsonn, who the mango man be, Yahsonn? I will want to know who the mango man be. I would that be a secret. Who is that? You?
The man said we're talking to the mango man, and you me here talking to. So I know that is you refer
Big up
to
Pierre
the man.
Jones and the team at the Navy's NTA for great work doing. And those past behind Devon, and not forgetting Greg Phillip and all those, and now the new CEO and stuff like that, and Julian Cavell and all the rest, the whole team that is there. It's a lot putting this thing together. It's not easy when people see these things come out, but they don't know what goes on, the stress and the back and forth and all this different stuff. And so I've done Navy's have done a beautiful thing.
As we continue, just want to remind the folks that the number to call in is 1-869-662-7196, and we want to encourage all those who are logged in right now to just take 10 seconds. If you're on the YouTube platform, subscribe, like, share, click on the notification bell. If you're on the Facebook, subscribe, like, share. For those commenting on the Facebook wall and on the YouTube platform, we got some comments here. We got the Ultimate Movie Clips asking, why not farmers link together and network instead of fully depending on government, their farmer group or a body? To respond to that, there are a number of corporations and organizations and so on and names already. However, it's not total dependence on government, but however, government is responsible for a number of things, and we're just asking that they take on some of the responsibilities that they do have, because some of what they do need to do can be very helpful to farmers. And when we compare agriculture in other territories, sometimes even, I don't know where you are, the Ultimate Movie Clips, but in a lot of different territories, I was living in the US for a couple of years, and I know that a lot of the agricultural industry in America is subsidized. And so government invests in a lot of ways to help to subsidize, especially in a time like this, when we are importing over $250 million worth of food annually. So there's some serious need, and when you're going to see that the government reduce the budget in relation to agriculture when they should have been increasing the budget, you have to really wonder if they're serious and have to call upon them. So that is all we're seeking to do in that regard. We also, since you bring that up, I would want to also encourage our cooperatives and groups and organizations to be more active. And I am a member of the New River Agriculture Cooperative, and I want to encourage all of the members to be more active. It is one of the most recognized agricultural cooperatives on the island at present. And I really want to thank the president for the work that she has been doing over the years, Marla. Marla, enough respect to be holding down the organization and keeping the guys and all the other members, active. And I'm encouraging many more of the other members who are not that active at this point to really be active, because cooperatives have a lot of benefits. And sometimes I think many people recognize the benefits and sometimes they get the benefits, but then sometimes when it's time to put in the work and so on and to be cooperative and so on, we do lack in that. And so that is sometimes the issues, some of the issues that we have. So it's not that we don't have groups and organizations, but sometimes it's really a challenge to really, keep organizations like those really active and going. And so again, I really want to thank Merla. I think a couple of years she has been in that position. We've been voted over time and time again to go back in the position. So it means that she was and is doing a good job, and the organization and cooperative would have benefited a lot from her leadership and the works that the organization itself would have been doing over the years. I've just gotten in this year, but I've heard about a lot of things that would have been happening long before I was even here on Island. So I want to thank them, and I want to encourage all those who are part of the organization to continue to do what you have been doing, even though you might seem like it's only you one and all this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you all, continue to encourage you guys. Trevor Benjamin says again, but instead of empowering our people, they are granting Chinese permission to put our locals out of business. They are not serious. The only thing they are serious about is suppressing us. And a lot of us share some of those sentiments, and we see some of these things happening. Especially, you're talking on that line. Look at what's happening on the cannabis side. We took the commissioner of police to court to identify a constitutional right that we have. And instead of seeking to respect the Constitution, the government is still seeking to, in any way possible, still find ways to suppress that right that we have. And want to, as much as possible, make it even seem as if we don't have the right. Though it was wrong, because the judge pointed out that they would have been breaching our and infringing upon our rights for many years before. And even now, even after those judgments, a lot of the arguments that were presented in that case is still being presented as if they have some sort of merits. When it has merits, when it comes to dealing with the public side of things. But we are not debating the public side, we are debating the private side. And the judge would have pointed out, when it comes to Rastafari, they can go possess, trim, cure, and have any amount of cannabis on the premises, on the private premises. And we ain't talking about public now, we ain't talking about selling nothing, we ain't talking about distributing nothing. That is a whole different matter, because Judge Vento said that too. Yet those things are of a total different matter. The case that he was dealing with was a narrow case. And so even though y'all ain't got y'all things organized, that not got nothing to do with the private side of things. And instead of allowing that, y'all are still trying to find ways to suppress, because y'all are claiming that, oh, if y'all allow us to exercise our right, it's going to cause social ills and we're going to have a problem with security and public security and all of these things, when there is no established data to substantiate any of those claims, and oh, everybody gonna just want to use it. Well, how come everybody not plant cabbage? Everybody gonna want to plant it. How come everybody not plant cabbage? How come everybody not plant potato? How come everybody not plant pumpkin? How come everybody not plant okra? And all of these things legal. Where is the justification to argue that if you free up cannabis so that every adult citizen can go where they want to go, and every Rastafari can go where they want to go on the premises, why do you want to feel everybody just going to go and do it? There's no arguments there to substantiate that, no evidence. Because like I said, it's another crop, just like tomato and cabbage and potato and all of these things. There's still a huge market for them. As a matter of fact, prices are increasing nearly daily when it comes to some of these basic things as well. Because we are the same argument here that a lot of people ain't growing them, and a lot more people need to be growing them. So there is no evidence to substantiate that argument. So my brethren, you're right with them trying to suppress us. And these are things that we are speaking out on and we are pushing back on. But as Bankie said, some of these people, like, they want to help, because some of the same people who you are bringing forth these arguments and presenting these arguments, and when it's time for them to stand up and represent and defend their cause, they sit back in the corner and maybe call you to the side and tell you, well, you must do it. You must talk about this. You must talk about that. And how come you not ask that? And how come you not do that?
There are people who watching Indian Castle go down the drain. You hear we sit, and them are the minister, and they take excuses benefit most. Once they sit down on a board, they're getting a little this and little that, a position, a little job here. That's actually how people are the problem. And next two things in the agriculture industry, that we're not producing enough honey. And always, why is that? Okay, we're not producing enough fish. You can't get enough fish on it to buy. You can't have us to import fish, pat fish. Me understand that again. Is either you need, the fisher folks need larger vessels equipment, access again. You see what I mean? Because this come down the line where you see, just bringing this to where a chairman was circulating where everybody come in and I do this and the locals them not do it, they don't make work. I mean, sometimes we got to get be more. We only get in the pulpit settings and the congregation sit down here talk crap instead of putting and say, Pastor, you're wrong. Next topic. It's crap. Because some of the best tailors I know and seamstresses, they still exist. You see what I mean? Locally. When people come into your country, they're going to develop their skills. That is beautiful. You want to that's what you call it. They're working for them you want. Because somebody's going to get rent paid and stuff like that. You see what I mean? They're going to open up a bar, they're going to open up this, they're going to open up that. Who want to work 2 and 3 jobs? He the preacher now work 2 and 3 jobs and 4 jobs, isn't it? He probably getting a cut from a government, whatever, as a therapist or whatever. The government has a higher preachers or something. You can't talk so. The church that they in who build the church, them are the community. Cannot collect card people, give them free money. So when they speak like these things, Virgin, we have become this system have become a charade. And they become so comfortable and people entertain this crap from some of these preachers because they have up their son and look down on you. The church is the difference than the courthouse, you know, they look down upon you. And the same thing, you know. You have to go up really long and look up to them. Same thing is set up as, and we don't realize these things. But you think there's wrong thing. Well, who plant the food? All the Spanish, all the Guyanese, all the locals, then who push the food? Huh? Who doing the fishing? No, a lot of these people are working for the same way. So when people just jump up and sit and watch a congregation sit down, listen to people talk this crap. Man, you're gonna be now people sit down and talk crap and now put men and we bought, you know, because you don't feel like me a part of the same thing too. It's madness. You talk on your own people. The people are not lazy, people are virgin. If you left younger guy enough, some of these local people, you want to find this, it's gonna happen in every community. Wherever you call it in the world, it's gonna be normal. But don't make it seem like Navy and traditional lazy people and I look for government for work. That is crap. I mean, I look for government for no work. Me get up every day. I've left to go up 3 years. This is about 3 years I've left the government. I may beg nobody for no work. Me a survive I do what me have to do. And I till the soil. So what he talk about? Why don't the preach man come and come visit Mansell's last of Shabazz next and see what me do? They need to done with it. When preachers speak like that in front of you, talk up, tell them no, I walk out the church, left an empty church. Because they speak our people, my virgin. Why don't you talk about the destiny we want to give away and we'll sing it one down there? Give away the land white gate. Or you not talk about that. Or you not talk about that. His church will get tax free. The same destiny gonna be tax free too. Don't take on these people, virgin. People got some mega churches, cost millions of dollars. And the congregation can't pay the light bill. Just the best. These are the truth. And they blaming looking on other people. Because me including the other people they're talking to. So I have a right to respond when people make those kind of dumb comments. Because I'm not going to entertain it. When I just mentioned how much young people here in houses to develop to people like Paris Living cancelling of letters. Well, he can't highlight these people. Well, he don't know these things exist? Or he don't know that? How much young people in St. Kitts doing great things? Well, why you choose to find a little to make to be what have you know? Come on, man. Come on. We're gonna come better, Virgin. We're gonna come better than this as a people. I always want to find something negative to call on our own. You know how anybody call on our own. And we have been our own people. Wherever we go, we excel. Wherever St. Kitts and Division go in other Caribbean countries, we always surpass everyone else on the little that we have. So when preachers get in front of the pulpit and start to talk, they need to start. Yes, those who come, I have to live all within my community and in Connecticut and stuff like that. That's what they're going to do. They have to survive. They're not going to sit down and wait on you. If I'm going to work 2 and 3 and 4 jobs, but when you get time to rest, it means you're in a struggle. You're hustle because you have things to do to help your family back home. That's what everyone does. So you should encourage these things, but don't go out and say your people are dependent on government. Come on, man. Come on. That is madness to say when you're saying government giving all these big entities millions of dollars with no interest rate, and we're importing all this food, and you're not encouraging these local markets to take the food from. We got to come better than this. and we stay quiet to start talking on these things as if like they're better than us. They are not. And they lose themselves. That's why you see me around the church again, you know. Because the Bible supposed to come tell me nothing who look like a me, like I need everything myself.
I see some questions here that's popping in before I get into some of the other points that I wanted to get at. Question: what percentage of the food import bill is cut annually in a sustainable way by farmers? That question would need statistics to respond. And at this point,
can say lettuce will at this point lettuce will be one of those that we are doing well. Much and completely cut out the lettuce. Lettuce is one of those when it comes to greenhouse technology. When you have, but these same greenhouse farmers would love to expand their lettuce production into the next 3, 4, 5 more greenhouses each and stuff like that. So you need more people to get involved in these greenhouses, and the technology we got to teach it properly. But it's more water again.
And eggs again.
It's
So I think
water.
egg, I think they have been mostly
yes,
supplying. Right.
A lot of eggs starting up the Christmas in December time. So egg is one of those that is down and stuff like that. But we could have been down, way down, but in terms of now with jelly, if Indian cats wouldn't have been importing the jelly, if Indian cat would have this a good over 3,000 coconut cheese fruit in jelly already blooming. So
and again,
and the minister have to be held accountable for that.
The other question again, I think we require some statistics again from my vantage point. What is the ratio, percentage of successful subsistence farmers in St. Kitts and Nevis that is producing our staple crops year round? Again, that I say that would need
that is normally because those are small farms. There's many of those, and even still have some backyard farmers who do produce a lot of farms, a lot of food, more than even someone a quarter acre. Because they're consistent. The backyard farmers are more, the small farms are more consistent.
The key point is
well, yes, and you have to remember, you know, most farmers are part-time. Farmers can have a regular job. You see what I mean? So farming is.
I'm just going to the
so farming.
And I'm just saying, and that is why I said
all year round. But I'm telling you,
really,
of course,
really truly answer that in a real correct way. So you just we could give these estimations and we could give examples and so on.
You have those smaller farms that produce all year round, and these are information you can get from the agriculture department. Because the extension staff is also good on. But I work with small farms all year round. You can talk people like Almina, people like Frederick in Nevis and up in Rollins, and man like Dole and Mike. Those are farms. Say Mike Brown over in all them over in New Avenue and Leston, and then guys over there, and you have Jeddy and his son. It's all year round. Them man plant food. So you see it around your community. Me plant food all year round. You can get ripe banana planting, cassava, tanya, local fruit, same sugar cane, melon, different stuff. Season, but all year round, man, plant food. I have tomato right now, okra, cassava, planting, ripe green, full, and you still have lot different varieties of mangoes and star fruit all year round. You have bell apple, you have pomegranate and the trees. You have avocado coming in. You have ackee. You see what I mean? So all year round, man, I do take and go all year round. And there are farmers that doing these things. Remember, the farm them around here over 10 acres. Most of them guys who got a farm over 5, 6, 7 acres, they not use all the land. You see what I mean? The man should have 20 acres, but which part of 20 acres of the land here use? You have to look at things like that. Telling a man you got 5 acres of land and you only use a half acre. No mean nothing, you know. You have to say how much you occupied. That is the key. Yeah, so the production is with most of the serious farmers. You'll have some who, when the place get hot like this, they would slow down on the farming and come back in, start planting again around August, September to get in cereal to the Christmas time and stuff like that. So some will take a break off when they heat like this and rest the ground and then come back in to start prepare again, you know. and stuff like that. But resting the soil is a time. I mean, I have enough land to rotate, so I have areas I'm resting now, and then gonna come back in. But
Okay,
yes, and I would like to see I would definitely like to see the honey production increases. Okay, that is, and the fish. Cause we always scarce when it comes to fish, fish especially.
Well, Bankie,
And
I'm telling
a lot
you,
more agro-processing industry, a lot more agro-processors produce and stuff like that.
I am going to invest in one or two boxes, because I find I had a mango tree here, and every time I even eat some mango and I try on the skin right now, the bees them just here like eating them out. So I got a lot of bees right now that I would love to just put in some boxes. So if there was a bedroom we had on the program at the time was saying that they were building boxes and so on and them kind of things.
Mono tweed.
Okay, well, maybe getting one or two. At least start with one and see how that go. I guess I'll have to work with my little phobia with the bees, but I'm gonna try to make them my friends, you know what I mean? Then they're gonna go come
So to deal with bees, so to put in a box.
Rest I can go alone.
Queen, you can stick with everything. Or you're gonna learn with sting.
I can learn all of these things, yes. So that's why I say I got to get rid of the phobia. I got to go learn this thing because it will be something new to really deal with, in the industry.
Yes.
So another question, why aren't farming corps not investing more in heavy machinery for farming like what is happening in the construction industry? The ultimate movie clip says it's strange because it's saying government and officials exercising their rights. So these are some of Navy shouldn't send money overseas for food imports that could be going locally. Local farmers are doing more than filling bellies. They are keeping money circulating within the community. Double impact.
Yes, sir. You see, it's just like when we started with all these pineapples and stuff like that. We should make, when the government are bringing the 60,000 pineapples and all these things and start to distribute them, there will be a point, especially them who are using it and the pheromone and stuff like that. They're gonna come in. So you should have put things in place where you're gonna go into pineapple juicing and stuff like that. You understand? And have a local pineapple juice and a brand. Yes. Yes.
Value added.
Yes.
Value added.
Carla, good evening.
Bankie?
Speaking live. You're live on the air. You want to be live?
Yeah, I want to be live. Yeah.
Yeah, you're live. Yeah. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, my name is King Yellow.
Yes, Yellow.
I am a crop farmer.
Yes.
From St. Peter's.
Yes. I just mentioned pineapple and you have to call what the ads are. You live up alignment. Go ahead, listening, Yellow.
Yeah, right now I have over 60,000 pounds of pineapple.
Yeah, so this one
harvested.
Okay.
In which the program was donated by the government in supplying the pineapple system.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to get some market, and that's been a real problem going forward.
So how you selling the pineapples on them?
Well, I'm selling pineapple right now per pound. Pineapple costs $5 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
They drop down and I could always negotiate, but I sell $4 a pound right now because it's over 14 months now I've been waiting and working on them.
So how are you getting through with the pineapples, the sale of the pineapple? How I've seen it with you. So how everything after that video going, how the sales are going?
For me, the video has been goes out, it's been much more better for me.
But how
getting more sales?
Yes.
I've been getting more sales going forward.
So what are the local markets and stuff like that? How are they taking it? How that going?
Well, the local supermarket going to be some problem. They got the container load foreign pine and it's a real problem.
But why would they allow them to bring a pine? Why would the government agriculture department allow them to bring a pineapple and they send off and those farms when pine is ready to harvest? Cause your information will be given by the extension staff that Yellow will be started harvesting in a month or two. So the quarantine. I know the system with the quarantine will say, well, these are what happening, so we can't send, and the directors and peers. So they should know better because the government is put a policy in place where they're pushing pine and other bananas and stuff like that. So now when it comes to harvest, where would allow the supermarkets to come in? Because they would have the data and everything there. So currently now, you have pineapple right now?
Yeah, man, I got pineapples right now. So, Bankie, what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
The extension officers visit the farm and take data
yes.
of how much pineapples I have when I'm supposed to harvest.
Of course.
How much pounds.
Yes.
But then I'm still bringing in container load.
That ain't supposed to happen. That ain't supposed to happen, Yellow. That ain't supposed to happen. I work within the system, and we have done some stuff in navies when you put a hole, a 2-month hole, 3-month hole until this stuff, and then the product is on the island. So somebody have dropped the ball in the department somewhere. This is a government policy. Because you alone have pineapple, others have pineapple in Nevis that came over, and others in Singing still have pineapples also. And I know that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Bankie, you see, I take my business.
Of course.
Because you see what happened? I want good house.
Of course.
I want good vehicle.
Yes.
And I want to see my children go to university.
Yes. Well,
so I take my farming as a business going forward.
Yes,
when I'm looking for money now to help going forward, it's been a problem.
Of course.
I want to know if farmers are supposed to make money
well,
like anybody else.
I'll reach out to you and I'm going to make some links in the neighboring islands and so forth and see what get this thing for because it's all about networking. I have some people in St. Bart's and different stuff visited today and looking and going to want products and so forth. So I'll reach out to you, my virgin. We'll make this thing happen. Me know going on, man. Me know going on. Me know you do your thing. me know you do your thing, virgin. It just yeah, man. Every time, enough respect. Yes, and yes, and that's yellow right there. And you see me the pineapple, and you see the man Carl. Because it's the reality. Because when this program was set in place and all this thing was coming in, my biggest thing is always, well, what's going on when it comes to harvesting, the drop the ball big time. So somebody need to be accountable for that. But you're gonna get you, because I'm gonna make some links and so it's all about networking and help each other.
Yeah, definitely. And
somebody need a number for tell Ollie's popping number on the screen because somebody want honey. Let me take this call before caller. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. I'm calling from.
Yes.
Could you kindly give me the number for the person with the honey?
Yes. We're gonna put it up on the screen and call it out. Okay.
Okay, and let me ask you something. Actually, they only sell bottles. Somebody say they only sell them by the bottle. I mean, people not gonna always have money to buy a bottle. They say they come down from maybe sometime, but they only bring them down by the bottle, which I think is nonsense. Because if you bring down bottles and somebody can't afford to buy a bottle and want to buy a half, would you prefer to carry back up all that honey instead of bringing down a half?
No, but the people in St. Kitts that sell different sizes, and people in sell different sizes of honey. They have some smaller one and they have the larger one. So it's dependent on the size that you want.
I haven't seen any honey. I came back from the US and I've been looking for
well,
honey,
okay,
real honey, because I don't want none from the store. Because
no problem. All right, send this is my this number here. Send me a text, a WhatsApp text, and I'll forward some numbers to you. Send me. I appreciate it. Thanks, and thanks for calling.
Nice program. I'm hooked.
You hooked?
Yes, I am. I like you. I love you. I like you. I love you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I appreciate it. I love you too.
And now I'm stuck and I'm gonna tonight.
You got me blushing live. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do my part, and it takes people like you who listen who make the show successful.
Baby, have a good night.
All right, you too. Goodbye. All right, and the people are paying attention. I appreciate that, Carla. I mean, Carla says she don't miss my shows and greatly appreciate. Don't know who is listening, and that is what it's all about. Each one teach one. So, Carla, just send me a message, a WhatsApp message, and I'll send you to somebody number, you get different sizes of honey that you need. And those people can always work with. But yes, my people, I just want to encourage those who been doing the small gardening where no space is too small, because in these times you have to realize you got to eat some of what you grow. It's very important, because we as human, we tend to live long, but at the same time, when you reach a certain age, you just really want something better. And farming is one of those things. A small garden space, you have to use a time management, and keep off some of the stress coming off of the job. And at the same time, it can be a family activity and stuff like that. And nothing is better because your vibration going into that plant. So when you have it from that plant, you realize whatever you go tastes better than you get it from somebody else, because that's how it should be. If you get something from me and say buy taste, and when you do it yourself and say it tastes better, of course, it's your vibration and your energy, and that is the right thing. You're seeing it and so forth and preparing it, because it's your vibration, and the time you spend in that, you and the plant become one. So the nourishment that you're gonna get from it, it's worth it, and you can't put that. So yes, and the listening, the people are in tune, the people loving what we are doing, so we can't take it for granted. And we being here cannot be here talking to ourselves without those who call in and show their appreciation. So it's always a good feeling when someone lets you know they do listen, appreciate it, because what we are doing here, we're not getting paid, and the people who listen to shows and who encourage others to listen to the show, you really, really don't take them for granted, and can't show them enough love for making the Everything Agriculture show and the topics and all the other shows, Real Entertainment Network, Quality Time with Alan, a success, and continue to be a success, and community shows. But Yahsonn, coming up in the next 2 weeks, let me say that after 2 weeks, yeah, is a music festival. Then after the music festival is the mango festival. A food again. So you see, all we do is eat. We eat more than the cows and the sheep and the goat. They're no virgin as human, you know. We eat, even if we not do nothing and lie down, we burn energy. So you see how much we do eat. So the music festival, pure drinking, pure partying, fat food. So where the food come from? No overseas again. At the same thing. In the same thing, you see a man just call it all like the music fest, and all this fed company, this one thing pushed with the pineapple, because the government bring this thing, and them because all these bringing all these. When you have something to say, you're going to improve, bring on the 2025 agenda to meet your food security agenda and stuff like that. It means you have to have programs when these things come in. Here the man's got 60,000 pounds of pine ready to go harvest. I mean, come on. Where they wasn't planning for these things. These are things I speak about. The same thing. I put up all these greenhouses next to each other. Only if I have a area that have trees next to each other, because me managing them. We can't put me with a greenhouse next to Yahsonn, next to the caller who just called in, next to a next. You can't put my greenhouse next to 10 somebody at the greenhouse virgin. In our work, that's creating failure right there, because everybody gonna have different management system. It's not like they by me and I know how I operate in them. So when I go in a morning time, I go into this one, that one. And then how you gonna keep the aesthetics of the area around? Thing that never work. Before even the thing they start them, they're failures. I told them this thing never work. That's just the reality. I'm a practical person. I'm training in these environments. So I know. I don't want to agree those next to Yahsonn upon me, 2 feet away. When yesterday they do he kind of what happened to me? We gotta be serious about these things. You know what I mean? It's always, and when you have a greenhouse, it's always right where you live at, on your property, if you're on your farm, or on a space where you can access it all easier. Not to live and go by someone in our farm there. So you put a village, greenhouse village, and you farm the over in a can, and you put them over in a Sunday point. My farm, you go by greenhouse, and give me that make any sense? It don't make no sense, Virgin. And you must do training. You cannot stop training, you know. That is one thing. When people going off island, not extensive farmers should be going on these trips too. Not just the ministers and the agriculture staff. Farmers should be given more opportunities to go on this training. And when these extension officers come back after this trip, they do workshops. And not just the information stay with them. Until these things are done on a continuous basis and we put resources, we're not going to move. We'll keep having this conversation over and over, and our field import will continue growing and growing and growing. I'm just talking about honey. The young lady said he can't get honey all the time. These are the reality. So I want agricultural sector can work, and now we can feed we can feed ourselves, and now we can export food because we've been doing it. We have built the whole United Kingdom. Okay, the whole Caribbean have done that out of agriculture. So it's needed.
I just said that is one of the things, because I am in between doing some farming right now. I do a little bit of taxi and tours, right? And as a result of me doing the taxi and tours, it has caused me to get involved in doing a lot more research about Nevis, especially seeing that Nevis is where I'm doing the tours right now. And in my research, I'm learning that Nevis, as small as it is, used to provide 20% of the overall food that the entire Caribbean, British Caribbean, utilized from the Caribbean. Nevis, let that sink in. Nevis, small little Nevis, 36 square miles, used to produce 20% of the overall food out of the Caribbean that was taken to Britain. It was said that was one of the reasons why they had so much forts around the island, because Nevis was well sought after. Nevis was like the Dubai of the Caribbean. The man decided that when 1 acre of land, maybe let's use St. Kitts, which is the next door. And this is not exact figures, but I'm just trying to give an example. If 1 acre grew 1 ton of sugar in St. Kitts, the same acre would go 3 to 5 tons on Nevis. That was how rich and productive Nevis soil was at the time.
This was what? What? What did you say?
This is how productive the soil was at the time. Well, it maybe still is. But I'm just saying.
It still is.
And that was those years nothing was being done. They did enough topsoil, enough bush and all the grass for them break down and so. So we really farm full. We really full.
Exactly. Yes, so, we are.
We can do these things, and that's why we're talking about these things. And I mean, the age of cheap food may be over. Rising fuel costs, global conflicts, supply chain disruption, climate impacts, population growth. These suggest imported foods will likely become more expensive over time. A lot of these things that we're running from, we're going to have to go back to.
I have a call coming again, Yahsonn.
Go back to what they were. Are we preparing for the next food shock? Are we waiting for it? Carla, good evening.
Good evening.
Just let me strain away a little bit from what you all saying, but I heard the guy say that people don't like to get involved. They like to sit back and ask you to do things, and then when something comes from it, everybody benefits. I came from the US and I use cable, and they need to keep going, and I keep complaining about it. I call cable because I told them, look here, I'm paying for a service that I am not getting.
Yes.
When I don't pay, you all cut me off.
Yes.
But when you keep cutting the cable, what is in it for me? I should be reimbursed.
It should be compensated for the days you don't have it and stuff like that. Of course, agreed.
I am paying for a service.
Yes, agreed.
I said, everybody keeps saying, they ain't going to study it because all the time.
Yes.
That's what I have all the time.
Yes.
I don't care about everybody, I care about me.
Definitely.
Because if I miss a time from my payment, they cut me off.
Yes, agreed.
So why should it be that when you're disrupting my service, I don't be compensated?
Yahsonn.
People need to put their rights and stop taking the same incentive. That doesn't make it right.
Smart. You're a smart lady.
I don't know why people settle for these things. I call cable and they say, oh, we're waiting on the company to get back to us. I said, let me tell you something. I'm going to call back.
Yes.
Because I need some kind of compensation because this thing just keep going. But
something like this do not need some oversee because the manager should say, you know what? We're going to take $10 off your bill or $20 off your bill. That's all it is. You don't need to have need somebody overseas to make a decision like that.
Because I mean, I kind of catch off guard because maybe nobody just call about these things. But
I got you.
I'm very persistent,
Yes.
and I'm gonna call them back because they have to do something. I am paying off this that I should have. Whatever happening on your end, nothing to do with me.
Of course, agreed, definitely.
People need to stand up, and if everybody stand up and work together, things will happen. But everybody takes things for granted.
That is the point.
I do not take things for granted.
You see, that is the point.
I could talk to anybody up there, in there, and down below there. I could go to any level you want
Of
me
course,
to come to.
yes.
We need to stand up, man, and people need so much things happening, too much things happening that people just sitting back and taking and making a normal day. It's not a normal day in the class, but a normal walk.
Thank you, caller.
But again, good program.
I appreciate it. And Yahsonn, this caller is right on point. Is we allow things to happen in now. If the same with the telephone and stuff like that, or the service, they should compensate you. The same with electricity, you should have to compensate people because they're paying a bill, and you're inconveniencing them. You messed up their answers. They get held to pay the fees because they got
it happens because I could recall having challenges with T-Mobile when I was up there and I had problems with my phone, and so I called the company. Metro PCS, and so I call them and I tell them, look, y'all cut me service and me in Ohio. So what is it that is going to do for me? Because you are making me lose business. I have people to call, I have Zoom meetings to be on. You are making me miss, you know what I mean? Sometimes the compensation ain't come close to what you probably would have lost, but at least they make some effort and they will tell you, well, okay, we're going to take off this off of your bill, or they're going to give you some sort of special extra data for whatever it is. And they would do those things. They offer you some kind of special or something.
Definitely.
But again, as the caller says too, we the people need to sometimes speak up and demand these things from these companies as well, because I think they have been getting away with a lot of these things for all these years and nobody really stand up. Sometimes too we are reluctant and I guess to sometimes have the amount of money to take them to court and so on, but sometimes these are things that maybe need to be done and so, you know, but then again, something that should not even be necessary, as you pointed out, because from internal, they should realize that they inconvene their customers and their consumers, and they should make a constant effort to say, hey, okay, we're going to take off $5 off, $10 off the bill, we're going to add on something for this month then, because we would have interrupted the service for whatever it is. I mean, these are little things that we shouldn't really have to deal with, but the reality is in these parts of the world, a lot of these companies is just about grabbing and taking from you. And when it's time for them to compensate and give back or whatever it is, it's always a challenge. And so great point, Carl, even though it's not necessarily agriculture. I mean, hey, it's a great point.
Yes. Getting some about to wrap up, so we're getting some of the last comments and stuff like that.
We're getting some of the last of the comments. Okay, so this one here says, yes, sir, that is plant all year round. Tonight is one of, if not the best show thus far. Susie 5559, Wilfred Pierre, Kefosi says, yes, sir. Our food is our medicine and our medicine is our food. Carlisle Paris says, remember to like, comment, subscribe to Real Entertainment Network to help us grow our program. I love that, Carlisle Powell. Enough respect, King. Encouraging folks, and I want to take the time as well too to encourage you to go on over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, subscribe to the platform. If you're on YouTube, you know, go on over and subscribe as well. Trevor Benjamin says, price is another thing that farmers cut their own throats. There's no way food imported should be more competitive than the local farmers' prices. Well, my brother, like I just pointed out, you got to realize as well that in America and some of those bigger territories, they get incentives, and also they grow in larger quantities as well. So you find when we are talking acres, these people are talking hectares, and they would have it in abundance. And when anybody who knows business, the more you have in terms of quantity, the more you can reduce your wholesale rate, so to speak, and still meet what you may be looking to get. And if you're getting subsidies from your government and so on, whether it's through water, fertilizer reduction, or whatever the other inputs and so on that sometimes are given by governments in some of those territories, then yes, you can afford to export at very much competitive rates, even though they have to bring in from overseas and pay shipping and all that. So yes, only just tuning in, sorry, and I'm hearing music to my ears. I give thanks to Real Entertainment Network. I give thanks for your works well. Cora, I am
Yes,
just
I give
encouraging you,
thanks.
before you leave, subscribe to the platform and click on the notification bell. Susie says Gingerland was once known as the breadbasket of St. Kitts and Nevis. See, and a lot of these things, so I want to encourage our youths to go and do a little bit more research on Nevis and the history of Nevis. Go back in the 1500s and 1600s and 1700s and so on, and you'll be amazed of things that used to go on here. And imagine the Bath Hotel, first hotel in the Caribbean. Was built in
Yes, I.
1778. So that tells you how far back
Remember
we
we
would have
named
been.
Queen, Remember we played Queen
Queen of the
Caribbean,
Caribbean,
Remember that,
a pearl of
All right.
Suez,
Queen,
right? Mighty Servant
All
says
right,
Nevis
Queen.
produced a large percent of sugar cane back in the day because of the
Yes.
type of cane that was grown then. After the type of cane changed, the advent of mechanical driven factories and the industry died. Somebody is asking, Ultimate Movie Clips asks, who sells molasses in St. Kitts and Nevis? Real quality. Not getting
Well, I know
paid, but
well,
right.
molasses is sold in Nevis at the supply office. I'm not sure in St. Kitts, but that's where they get the molasses. I mean, I used to bring it in, but then the government kicked me out of business. Bring it
Okay.
a whole large thing. So it is the supply office and selling it for, I think, for a regular bucket maybe for $50 or $70. I'm not sure the price changed, but it's cost a little. You can get whatever amount you want. So the supply office at Penny's Estate, Nevis.
Okay. So Ultimate Movie says not getting paid, but job listings would be greater. I guess you were saying that when we made the comment that we're not getting paid. Nevis earned the
Yes.
nickname Queen of the Caribbean in the 18th century because its highly productive sugar plantations generated immense wealth and tax revenue for the British Empire. That's Bobby Jones. Wilfred Pierce says,
Yes,
as an economist, I am trying to get people in my community in St. Lucia to grow food vertically to deal with the incoming food shock. Well, greetings, Wilfred. Welcome to the program. We
yes.
hope that you definitely like, share, and subscribe. Bobby Jones says,
Well,
thus
I
we
have
can
some.
food for the masters, but not for ourselves. Go ahead. You're saying something,
Well,
Banky?
I have some friends in technicians in St. Lucia. I mean, the person can reach out to me and I link them with Donovan. They work within the extension office within the agriculture ministry, and so I have some good people in St. Lucia who will definitely can reach out to them and help them. Anything I can do here when it comes to helping them with their going, and also work with the lady over Helen's daughter. So she knows me well. So yeah, we can make it happen and keep encouraging your community for going. You're on the right path. Some mightn't see it, but keep
Yeah, man,
encouraging those. So yes,
definitely, Wilfred. Keep in touch. Anything that we can do to assist, we will. I do have some
yes,
connections in St. Lucia as well too. So, yeah, just stay in touch with the platform. At the end, you could reach out to us, any one of us, and we will definitely work with you. The
yes,
Ultimate
I.
Movie Clip says, planting watermelon and pumpkin are good for storage. Something local should start in their yard if they have the space. Mighty Servant says molasses is sold at the supply office.
Yes, I.
Trevor Benjamin says, Yahsonn, I do understand that. So that is where the same government will use this to strengthen their point. They will say that they have to protect the citizens, but I support locals. Burl Jones says, I know someone in St. Martin that needs coal from Nevis. It's a shortage there in
Mhm.
SM. We need to tap into that market. Who makes coals and Nevis? Well, there are a number of people who makes coals and Nevis.
Yes.
And, a lot of people just take networking, and it seems as if, Banky, we may have to really, put ourselves in that position to be the catalyst to get some of these things moved throughout
Well,
the region and so. And
Yes.
they say that we don't necessarily have to depend on government to do things. So we will show whoever that we can make things happen. And, just keep in touch, people, all those who are locked in. Remember to subscribe to the platform. We're at the end of the show. We want to thank all of you who would have called in and made your contributions through the calls. I'm sorry, there was a couple of comments over here on the Facebook side. What can family, friends, and overseas do to help farmers that are doing all of the work? Seeds, equipment, heavy equipment is so probably too expensive and hard to ship. But I guess he's asking what can family and friends overseas do to help, with the agricultural industry, which is a good question. So, folks out there who may want to donate, you may find that you may be, working for a farm and they have some implements that they want to give away. They're changing out, and bringing in new stocks and
small stuff, weed whackers, lawn mowers, shovels, picks, seeds, everything.
Water tillers and small things. You can work with it. Even bigger things too. Tractors and some of these companies.
Drip lines and different timers for the farm can help control the water stuff. Yeah.
So anything we do appreciate that, and I'm sure that the government will be willing to provide whatever exemptions and so on if there are companies and organizations.
You will get off your waiting for farming and it's for a farm. You'll get off your duty concession. That's not an issue. Once you will get your duty off of it. Yes.
Malcolm Atherton says, true, Yahsonn, Nevis was the most productive island in colonial times, the pearl of the Caribbean. Susie says, you guys should do a night market show. Allow farmers to call in to market their crops. Okay, good idea.
Okay, next week.
Food for thought.
Next week. We can that could advertise it. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Beautiful idea.
That's why we have to really give thanks to people who listen to us because they made their contribution. And we want you to realize that we take your comments and your recommendations very seriously. And so we're definitely going to look forward to.
We do it for next week. I'm leading up for the music festival and stuff like that. We can do this show.
Great idea, Susie.
Yes, that's a beautiful idea.
Mighty Servant says, shortage of coals in SMX comes as a result of demand for coals, but not enough trees, forests to get rid of now. To encourage it, Nevis on a large scale may end up like SMX soon if we are not mindful. Okay, I hear that.
True.
So I guess looking at conservation, if you're going to cut down trees, you're going to have to replant and give time for certain areas to reforest and so forth. And so, very good point. I mean,
especially the acacia tree, because that one take a lot of years to grow. I only cutting the older one. They don't have the acacia on it, and leave the younger one.
If you're listening to us, give us the little signal to let us know that you're ready to get us out of here. In the meantime, I just want to say thanks to everybody, all of you who have made your contributions, whether it's via calls, whether it's via the comments. We really want to thank you all and thank you for the support. All of you who are encouraging us to continue to have these kind of discussions and who are giving us props for the program. We really, truly thank you. All we are asking, we are not asking for a monetary donation at this point. We are asking you to just, whichever platform you're on, subscribe to it. If you're on the Facebook, subscribe. If you're on the Facebook, we're really looking to get some more numbers over on the YouTube. We're hoping to at least get to 1,000 in a very quick time. So we're encouraging all of you who are on right now to go over to the YouTube. If you're already subscribed, okay, you don't have to subscribe. But if you're not subscribed to the YouTube platform, take 10 seconds before we close out. Go over to the YouTube platform, subscribe, like, share, click on the notification bell. That's all we're asking. If you love the show and you want to help us, that is one free way. It doesn't cost you anything other than 10 seconds and a click on your finger. And that we would deem as very, very important to us. So we really want to thank all of you. Thank you, Trevor Benjamin, and everybody. Somebody said, but the quality for the duty-free concessions, you must be a registered bona fide fisher or farmer.
No, everybody not registered. Everybody is not registered, so that's not. Every farmer is not registered, and so that is not true. Okay, there was a process where they were
No,
starting
no,
to
no.
register farmers and
I think maybe it's a suggestion they're making. They're not necessarily saying that it is so. I think maybe it's a
no.
suggestion. Or
But
maybe
if you're farming, no, remember, once you're farming, an extension staff would come out and know if you're farming or not, and give an assessment. So you'll do your duty that is owed to you. So it's not an issue. You see what I mean? Yes.
Yeah, man. So we really want to thank everybody, and we look forward to having you guys next week for another edition. Usually on a Friday night, the show starts at 7, and usually from 7 until 9. On a Tuesday, the topics, that's usually from 8 until 10. But Monday we do have quality time with Alan. Usually starts at 7 to 9 o'clock. Quality time with Alan. So these are some of the programmings on our platform, Real Entertainment Network. If you subscribe and you click on the notification bell, then you will be informed every time we have a program. And so all we're asking before you leave, all of you who are here, I see at least 56 people here on the YouTube platform still. Just like and share. I see the technician is here already, so we are ready. I want to thank, again, before we leave too, we definitely got to thank the Real Entertainment Network team for all of the hard work that the guys are doing behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know, but this is an international platform. We are here in Nevis, and the technicians are all the way in America, and we keep the show rolling. And so we really want to thank all those behind the scene, Alan Reese, Ira, and all the other people who work behind the scenes to make what you're seeing here this evening a possibility. And also, we can't leave without thanking you, the callers, the listeners, the viewers. And I know all of you are going to subscribe to the YouTube platform before we leave this evening. So I'm going to look over later on, and I should see at least 100 new followers before the show ends. So thank everybody, Bankie. Your closing as we wrap up this evening's edition of Everything Agriculture.
Yes, I just want to thank all the callers and all the viewers and the listeners for their comments. We greatly appreciate the comments and all the good suggestions that was being made. We'll definitely follow up on that and put that in place. We don't take you guys for granted. You guys are the one who made the show for what it is. And also want to thank Fian for calling in to give the Mango Festival a shout out. Definitely remember to come on over and to Nevis, whether you're coming from the neighboring islands or from the US. Sometime enjoy the music festival this day in time for the Mango Festival. So definitely that is a good look, and when it comes to promoting Nevis and to have some of the dishes and the great chefs that Nevis have to offer. Come remember tomorrow, Saturday at Mansa's Last Stop, Shabazz next to get your carmeal, fungi, and fish, as we call it, carmeal with the okra. You got your oxtail and carmeal, your chicken and carmeal, or your oxtail and rice, your fish and rice, and your salads, and your best local, the best view. On the island, you're right, they're sitting next to the roadside looking down at the water and vehicles passing or whatever, and you just, at the same, you get up and go to the back of the farm and get the mountain view. I just not even know you're on the farm. So definitely tomorrow, the people come get their lunch. Lunch will be ready definitely by 11:30. The food sell out fast, so by 2:30 most likely, food will go fast. So when food will cook, people are gonna call in and put in the orders. People come in and pick up and go. Yes, and you see how it is and stuff like that. So definitely again, thanks to all those who keep coming out and support Shabazz Organics and Mansa's Last Stop. Come on, get your local bananas, grape, green, ripe, plantain, your mangoes. Cassavas is the only one to dig it out. Tanya is the same way. You have some tomatoes. So thanks again for helping us keeping my Uncle Mansa legacy alive. And while we get it, so big up Amanis. She's the chef, best chef in the house, and Aisha, our sister Aisha, 12 Navy's best chef. Big up Aisha and Amanis for the great works. Today was you had your cook up. So from Friday you get your curry chicken and stuff like that, and Friday you get your cook up, on Saturday and Sunday you get your different soul food, and then as everything continues, Monday and Tuesday we add different and lunch and stuff like that. So thanks again to everyone for keep tuning in to Real Entertainment Network, and greatly appreciate it.
Yes, Bankie. Well, I'll just make this final comment before we leave. I want to say thanks to the Garden Hoe channel They said they liked and subscribed. So we got a new subscription for sure. Definitely, Garden Ho channel. Look forward to having you
Yes,
and with you in the future. Susie says, I eat oxtails and deer tail. So, like moment to end the program.
Oxtail a deer tail.
No, actually, there's some people who are passing off deer tails as oxtails. So I saw some article like that, and
really?
I think it was TikTok like that. Yeah. But again, thank everybody. As we close out, I just want to say that we were closed at the Heritage Cafe for a couple of weeks. Chef Sophie, her father would have passed away. So condolences to her and her family.
Yeah, man,
and so we would have
condolences
to deal with all of that. But next week, look out for Heritage Cafe and all the good things over there at the Heritage Cafe. We're going to be buzzing again. So people, look out for that and more updates, and just follow us on the platform here on Real Entertainment Network, and also on my Instagram, Imperial Rides. Be sure to support the taxi service as well. Come on over on Tour Nevis. You want to tour Nevis? Oh, and we add in Bankie as one of the mango stops. So definitely he's the real mango man. So if you come in and you're doing a tour, you're capitalizing on our cultural tour or become a Nevis tour, Bankie will be in that spot. So people, enough respect, guidance, and detection. See you guys on another edition of Everything Agriculture. It's Tuesday when we have another edition of the topics, and Monday when another edition of Quality Time with
our
Alan.
guest will be Glendale Herbert and the topics for Tuesday. Glendale Herbert, ancient African history. So definitely that is something we're definitely looking for the reason, and we're going way, way, way back.
With that, technician, guidance and detection, love and detection, everybody.
Right.
See ya.
It's Everything Agriculture with Bankie and Yahsonn. Talking food security, cannabis, farming, livestock, fisheries, and everything agriculture. Every week on Real Entertainment Network. Food security, that's the priority. Plant the food locally, feed the whole community. Everything agriculture, building for the future. Bankie and Yahsonn bringing solutions for the islands and the nation. Too much food coming overseas. One disruption bring the country to knees. One storm, one war, one delay. Supermarket shelves empty same day. So we have to plant more yam and dasheen. Fresh vegetables keep the people clean. Raise more goat, more chicken too. Local farming must come true. Every backyard can grow something. Pepper, thyme and pumpkin. Teach the youth we love the soil. Agriculture reward the tile. Hey, if the import stop tomorrow, who gon' feed we through the sorrow? Dig the soil and make it grow. Food security run the show. If the import stop tomorrow, hey, who gon' feed we through the sorrow? Dig the soil and make it grow. Food security run the show. Food security, that's the priority. Plant the food locally, feed the whole community. Everything agriculture, building for the future. Hey, Bankie and Yahsonn bringing solutions for the islands and the nation. Cannabis industry growing fast, creating opportunities built to last. Medicinal herbs and business too. Education changing how we view. Greenhouse farming changing the game. Hydroponics helping the grain. Fishery, livestock, fruit tree line. Agriculture make the island shine. Support local every chance they get. Farmer working and don't forget. No nation strong if the people can't eat. Local food keep the country complete. Wave your hand for the farmers them. solution. Oh, yeah. It's everything agriculture with Bankie and Yahsonn. Catch us live every week on Real Entertainment Network. Watch on Facebook and YouTube, Ren TV. Everything agriculture, where food security is everybody business.